So I had a pretty, I guess, a violent childhood and stuff and everything like that. But I started coming to Siggy when I was in like 7th grade. A friend had invited me. My dad was never really in my life. And so it was like my mom, and then she had a boyfriend and stuff. And he was like a big alcoholic and very, very abusive. But it was kind of always cool because every time like I went to camp or something like that, because no one else went to church in my household except for me. But every time I went to like Siggy camp or something, it was kind of like an escape. Like I was like a time where I got to like really be a kid and stuff like that, because I had to grow up like pretty quick. And yeah, as I got older though, it was like, I'd go to Siggy and I kind of got to be a kid, but like outside of that, I was like, I was kind of going down like a dark path from like a pretty young age and stuff. Gary always like kept me pretty grounded and never like made me feel ashamed of it. He was just always try to like direct me in the right direction, and they always did cool stuff for me and everything like that. But whenever I was 17, the beginning of my senior year, my mom was actually murdered by her boyfriend from just in one night. Like my whole life changed. I told Crystal and Gary what happened and stuff, and Crystal was actually like pretty close to my mom. She was trying to help my mom out a lot through a lot of things, because she had actually just broken up with him like a month before she passed away. And so like it was kind of crazy, but it was like, it felt like I had answered prayers and stuff, and then like everything just kind of, flipped. Probably like 2.5 years after, they finally like had the trial and stuff, which was like a really hard time. And I think that put me like probably like 10 steps back in where I was trying to go, because it was just, you have to relive everything. But after that, it took a little time. And then, after going to like Idle Hands Ministries, and things just kind of went on from there. And I ended up being able to forgive him. And now it's one of those things, like I just gotta pray for him every single day, and it helped get a lot of that weight. When you hold unforgiveness, it's literally like shackles. It just weighs you down, and no matter how far you get, it's like one thing can just make you feel set back and make you like kind of question your reality if like you're doing as well as you think you were. God enables me to see a chance for freedom when others only see an offense. You have to draw the strength from Him to be able to move on through things that you didn't think you could overcome. Learning to forgive Him helped out a lot of things. And I had to learn to forgive my mom too, because even though I loved her to death, she was like everything to me. I also kind of had to realize too that she didn't really put us in a lot of the best circumstances. Realizing that was like the hardest part. It was honestly harder than forgiving him, but once I did, it just kind of like made me be able to have a lot more grace about the whole situation. Really, it started like with Crystal and Gary. It was like a realization that like God had been working in my life like long before I actually realized it. And I think once I focused on Him more, it gave me the realization that like, He'd been working this whole time. And I think me going and living with them was like the best thing. They showed me a lot of things I never knew or got to see, and I got to see the love that Jesus has like played out through them. I think about if certain things didn't happen a lot, but I really am a firm believer in that. I think God would have got a hold to me one way or another, but I think things happen the way they happen for a reason, and I think at the end of the day, He's going to help use me in my circumstances to help others that have gone through similar things. I think that's a big reason why I like to do youth, because Gary did the same thing for me. So only God could have pulled me out of my circumstances and helped me use my past as a way to help others.